I am thrilled to be here. This represents years worth of work.
The Montgomery County Council, the county executive, and early care and education advocates joined to celebrate the designation of the Children's Opportunity Alliance of Montgomery County as the county's new early care and education coordinating entity and the approval of the entity's board appointees.
This represents years worth of work. And frankly, this should be a blueprint moving forward for how we can develop a system that truly enacts and takes advantage of the wonderful assets and foundation that we have spent generations building. Today marks another chapter moving forward, but puts Montgomery County in an even better position to be able to leverage the resources that we have in a way that will be effective.
The council unanimously enacted Bill 4221 in February of 2022, which provided the framework to establish an independent early care and education, or ECE, coordinating entity. The organization will bring together all stakeholders, including parents, employers, and child care providers, to develop recommendations to increase the availability of and access to high-quality, affordable ECE programs.
I think that it's truly important that we understand the role, the integral role that 0 to 5 plays in the shaping of our kids. It is not just about education. It is about shaping who they are as individuals. We have to start at the beginning and create a seamless pathway from pre-K to J, from pre-kindergarten to jobs. There is no question that seeing that pathway is the way for us to correct so many of the ills that we find in our community.
Bill 4221 builds upon the Montgomery County Early Care and Education Initiative, spearheaded in 2019 by Councilmember Nancy Navarro. This 4-year action plan earmarked $7 million in funding to expand quality ECE opportunities for infants, toddlers, and preschoolers.
We needed a coordinated entity that would help bring innovative ideas to the table, leverage philanthropic funding, keep the private sector involved among many other tasks. And here we are. This entity, on a personal level as a legislator, is the culmination of my legacy in this policy area. And I want to thank all of you who have accompanied me in this journey and have brought your talents and your expertise and have laid the groundwork for all of us to be able to get to where we are today.
The Children's Opportunity Alliance will give particular attention to underrepresented populations. The entity must also adopt and implement a racial equity and social justice policy consistent with Montgomery County's policy.
With a 360-degree view of the ECE landscape, the entity will be able to address gaps in high-quality, affordable ECE in certain communities based on historically biased systems and racial discrimination.
We are on the precipice of something great, but this is where the real work begins. Together, we must be brave, we must be bold to make the real change that we want.
The hope is that resolving the county's ECE issues will empower more parents to participate in the workforce, provide a solid educational foundation for children, help employers attract and retain talent, and ensure a talented future workforce.
We know that early childhood education is the key to addressing the needs of our children, youth, and families, especially around the area of academic achievement and closing the opportunity gaps. But it's also an economic imperative that we make sure we have quality, accessible, and affordable childcare opportunities across the county, regardless of where you live or your income or your job.
And having a coordinated entity that is public-private will be critical because they will be able to leverage private funding. They will be able to look at innovative best practices and be able to incorporate that. And they can then leverage a lot of the public funding that we are going to provide. And so this has been really important.
The most important thing about this step is collaboration. That is always the hardest thing in bringing people together, is making sure that we all have one mission and that our goals are reached. And that is what this entity is planning to do.
Building the future of Montgomery County's children. Reporting in Rockville, I'm Joseph Thompson.